So, earlier this year, MTN announced that they will be paying a final dividend of 174 billion naira to their shareholders. And that dividend is scheduled to be paid this April. In fact, Correlation Registrars has been reaching out to some of the shareholders who do not have their bank details uploaded so that they can do so and get their final dividend. So, in light of this, I think it's time we talk about what exactly dividends are and what you can expect when MTN finally pays you your dividend. So, what is a dividend? A dividend is a monetary reward given by the company to the owners of the business. It can also be referred to as the distribution of part of the profits that the company makes to the people who invested their hard-earned money in that business. This means that for you to receive a dividend, you have to be a shareholder in the company and your name must be present in the company's register of shareholders as at the date the company specifies. Now, the register of shareholders is simply a place where the company records all the people who own a share of the company as at a certain date. Now, in addition, it is only a business that makes a profit that can declare a dividend to their shareholders. This is because it is against the law for a company that is making a loss to actually declare a dividend to their shareholders. So you will never see a company that is making a loss declaring a dividend to their shareholders because it is illegal to do so. Another important thing about dividends is that a dividend is a discretionary payment. This is because a company is not obligated to pay a dividend to their shareholders even when they make a profit. An example of a company that comes to mind easily is Amazon. In 2021, Amazon made a net income of about $33 billion and yet they did not pay a dividend to their shareholders. And the truth is that they have never paid a dividend to their shareholders. And the reason for this is because they believe that their business, the share price, and as a consequence, the wealth of their shareholders will grow faster if they reinvest all the profit that they make back into their business. So when a business decides to pay a dividend to their shareholders, they will also have to decide what proportion of the profits that they make that they are going to declare or pay as dividend. And this is because if they pay all the profits that they make to their shareholders as dividends, then there will be no money left to reinvest in the business. And then they will have to borrow money when it is time to reinvest back into their business. After the directors decide the optimal amount of profits to pay out as dividend, the shareholders will approve this amount at the annual general meeting. In 2021, MTN chose to pay about 89% of the profits they made in dividends to their shareholders. And I think this amount is a really high amount. Now, let's talk about how often a company should pay dividend. Many companies that choose to pay a dividend will decide to pay a dividend 2 times in a year. The first dividend is called an interim dividend and it will be paid in the middle of a company financial year. In the case of MTN, they paid 4 naira and 55 kobo in July 2021 as an interim dividend. The second dividend is called a final dividend and is typically paid at the end of the financial year of a company. In the case of MTN, they paid 8 naira 57 kobo in April 2022 as final dividend. Now that we've spoken about that, how much can you really expect? Like we said, they declared a final dividend of 8 naira and 57 kobo per share, and this amount will be paid to shareholders whose name appear on the register of members as at 6th of April 2022. The amount you will receive will be a proportion to the number of shares that you own in the business. So let's walk through some of the examples based on how much you might possibly have. If you own 10 shares in MTN, then you can expect to receive 85 naira and 70 kobo. If you have 100 shares in MTN, then you can expect to receive 857 naira only. And if you have 1,000 shares, you can expect to receive 8,570 Naira in dividend. And finally, if you own 10,000 shares in MTN, then you can expect to receive about 85,700 Naira only. Now, all of these monies will be deposited directly into your bank account, less any withholding taxes that may be applicable. Now, let's begin to wrap this up. In conclusion, although you can look at the amount of dividend you are getting and be disappointed, especially if you did not invest a lot of money in MTN, but it's not all gloom and doom. To get a complete picture, we will look at two things. The first thing is what we call a dividend yield. The dividend yield is a return on investment on a share from a dividend perspective. The dividend yield is the amount of dividend that a company pays to you as a percentage of the average share price during that particular period. In MTN's case, the total dividend paid for 2021 financial year is 13 Naira and 12 kobo, and the average share price during 2021 was 171 Naira. So if we divide these numbers, then we get a dividend yield of about 7.6%, which I would say is an okay amount. Secondly, we can also look at the fact that the share price of the company has appreciated from 169 Naira, which was the offer for sale price in December 2021, to about 206 Naira, which is the share price in April 2022 when I was filming this video. This represents a 22% increase in the value of investment if you decide to sell your shares today. So we can conclude by saying that if you bought the shares in December 2021, MTN has tried as much as possible to give you a decent return, both in terms of dividend and also in terms of increase in capital invested. But like they say, past performance does not guarantee future returns. So always reevaluate all your investments to be sure you're getting adequate value out of them. And so that brings to an end what I'm going to be sharing today. If you found the content useful, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and then I will see you guys next time. My name is Ayodeji Alfred. Bye bye, friends.